Real Madrid woke up to a problem that won't fade quietly. Vinicius Jr.'s contract situation has frozen, and that freeze is no small matter. The winner remains under contract through 2027. But multiple reports now say talks to extend that deal have stalled because the player and his camp are pushing for a dramatic pay increase. They want terms that would put him alongside the club's elite earners. The immediate effect is clear. Negotiation is paused. Trust is strained, and the club is preparing for the possibility that this drama won't be solved with a handshake. Behind the headlines, there's a classic power battle. The player seeking maximum leverage. The club trying not to set a precedent. People close to the situation say Vinícius wants a contract that reflects his standing, and he's compared his demands to what the biggest stars at Madrid earn. From the club's perspective, meeting those terms risks opening a floodgate in the dressing room. From the player's perspective, waiting is a rational move because time increases his bargaining power as the contract horizon shortens. That dynamic is what turns a simple renewal into a potentially seismic transfer story. Florentino Perez is not a president who typically allows high-profile rows to linger without a strategy. According to recent reports, Madrid's board has discussed a clear contingency. Set a deadline, and if Vinicius hasn't extended by then, treat him as a saleable asset in 2026, rather than risk losing him for nothing. That's the cold arithmetic of modern football. A player's market value changes steeply once there's only a year left on his deal, and clubs often prefer to sell while they can extract a fee rather than watch the contract expire. The message from the top is straightforward. Loyalty and leverage go both ways. But the plot thickens because of outside interest. The Saudi Pro League's appetite for marquee names is well documented, and while a January-style swoop in the middle of a season seems unlikely, the promise of massive wages has historically shifted negotiations. Even if a huge Saudi offer is not imminent today, the mere possibility of an attractive future move has given Vinicius' camp confidence to press their case. That external option changes the risk calculus for both player and club. If the club refuses to pay, the player can wait for a better deal or run down his contract. If the player seems poised to walk, Madrid must decide whether to cash in sooner or double down on retaining their star. Sporting considerations complicate the financial chess game. On the field, Vinícius is still a significant attacking presence, but this season's tactical plans and rotations influence how indispensable he truly is. If Xabi Alonso, or whoever manages Madrid across the campaign, shapes the team without relying on him as the primary match winner, the club's willingness to part ways will increase. Conversely, if Madrid's performances suffer without him, that raises pressure to resolve the dispute quickly. Either way, the negotiation isn't just about Euros and ego. It has immediate consequences for team selection, morale, and results. What should viewers watch for next? First, any signal that either side returns to the table in earnest. New offers, statements from agents, or an official club update. Second, the calendar. As the contract window shortens, the club's bargaining position strengthens. But so does the player's ability to play out his deal and move freely later. Third, the marketplace. Renewed chatter from Saudi clubs or other big spenders could change the math overnight. Finally, keep an eye on how Madrid handles communication. A public ultimatum, even if intended as leverage, can backfire by souring the relationship completely. This story is not a closed chapter. It's a live negotiation with major stakes. Vinícius is a world-class talent at the intersection of sport and commerce. And what happens next will affect Real Madrid's roster construction, Florentino's transfer strategy, and potentially the architecture of player salaries at the club. For now, the picture is one of tense patience, a superstar refusing to sign, a president preparing contingency plans, and a transfer market ready to pounce if the standoff continues. Expect headlines, expect a deadline, and expect this to be one of football's defining sagas of the season.